if it's that one little thing and that one little thing and that one little thing that you got to do in the morning, it's all these little potential excuses to run late. Oh, now that it's late, I guess we don't have time for a workout. Hey, look, life is not easy. Anything good worth having isn't easy, but add to that the complexity of being an entrepreneur, being married, having children. We have done a lot of things right. We've made a few $1 million. We probably lost a few $1 million. We made some mistakes along the way, but one thing that we are really good at is relationships.
That's right. We have been together for almost 2 decades.
And we've been through hell and back together.
Yeah, we have. And we used to think that we were the only ones like us out there.
But, especially in our entrepreneurial ventures, we started meeting other ride or die couples that were going through the exact same things that we were going through. And they kept coming to us talking about advice and looking for solutions and really ways to help their relationship thrive. So we just knew there had to be a tribe of us out there. There's no way we could be the only ones out there.
We are getting real and raw, guys.
That's what he said.
Oh my God, babe. From dating to marriage to kids and even sex.
Even how to fight the right way.
We're going to be committed to being open and honest with you because we believe in your relationship too. Welcome to the Ride or Die podcast.
What's up?
Hello, what's going on?
How you guys doing this week?
We're excited to talk to you about our morning routine. It's something that's been coming up in conversation a lot lately.
Yeah, because people are asking how we're able to really, it usually starts by, you get up at what time? How do you do that?
And then with the ladies, it's like, yeah, I got so sick of looking at myself. I finally have a good way to get my butt in the gym in the morning. And I've just been getting up at 4 with Brandon. And the reaction has been like the women are like, what? You've been doing what? And so it's similar, but the lead-in conversation is he's like, yeah, I get more done. And I'm like, my butt needs to get smaller. So let's just face it here. I need to get up in the morning.
So how did this conversation come up?
Oh my gosh. We were at the best dinner date that we've had in a while with 2 other couples. And the conversation was flowing just around family and life and being married and really great. There was some business mixed in too, but we just had a lot of, for going out on dinners with a lot of entrepreneurs, the conversations can tend to veer towards business a lot, or if the guys migrate to one side of the table and the girls migrate to the other, it could be the housewives of Tampa on one side versus all the businessmen on the other. I don't know. It can be, I don't know.
I know we didn't do this on purpose, but it was actually good the way that we all sat at the table because the ladies were in the middle, right? There was one lady across the table and 2 next to each other.
But our husbands sat next to us and they were all on the outside.
Yeah.
Hey, that was really super clever.
So it made us cross conversations instead of just the guys huddling on this side and the girls huddling on this side.
Yeah.
Just pointing out. We didn't do it on purpose, but
No.
I think we might moving forward since we had such
great
conversation.
I'll run to the table and put little place cards down first.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good conversation, and a lot of it was coming we were sitting with 2 other couples that really enjoy spending time together as a husband and wife. So refreshing. And I love hanging out with people that love spending time with their spouse because you can see them both want to talk about things that are working for them or things that they want to improve or whatever.
Yeah.
So when one girlfriend said how are you getting your workouts in? I need to do that too, and I have not been consistent.
Why is that hard for moms to get a workout in? Especially stay-at-home moms, right? Well, they're at home, right? They're at home. How do you not get the workout in?
Mm-hmm.
No,
it says every man. I know. So, it is there's these articles, you can look them up. There's 1 million of them out there about how being a stay-at-home mom, and granted, none of the women at that table were just stay-at-home moms. We all work in our businesses at some capacity too. So, but even just the women that stay at home with their kids are freaking super women to be able to have the mental, you think about it, do you have the mental capacity day in and day out, and day in and day out, day in and day out to deal with the kids very joyfully and like they have all their quirks as little people that you have to
Right.
take care of. On top of it, you come home to a home cooked meal, or the house is clean and spotless all the time. The laundry's put away, and I slack on like laundry and stuff, but like Brandon can hear me all the time. If the sink has dishes in it, or stuff starts to get too cluttery, or I see too many toys around the house, like I start to twitch and like I start to kind of go crazy because those things drive me nuts. Like I just want Brandon to come home and be like so happy to be home when he's here. But those things all take time. And then like there's food in the fridge, there's groceries here, there's toilet paper in the bathroom.
So let's face it, once the day starts, I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom or entrepreneur mom, once the day starts,
you don't want me
you're
to
not
keep
getting,
going?
you're not getting
You don't want me to keep going? We got to pick up the kids, and you help me drop off the kids at school, but there's pickups at school, there's extracurricular activities. Oh, don't
Right.
forget all the birthday parties.
So once the day starts, it's about impossible to get a workout in. And you're kind of killing two birds with one stone if you guys can work out together.
Sorry to interrupt, but the school's calling and the kids are sick. I need to go. I need to go get them. Like it never ends. Like that's just what life as a mom is like, and like a committed mom that wants to be there for their children. You know, like when you're putting your family first, which has always been important to me since like day one. I put you first, and now I put our family first. Like that is not only very time consuming, but it is very mentally exhausting some days, especially when the kids don't want to behave and stuff. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
So once the day starts, if you haven't gotten your time in to do your workout or read your book or have your me time, you're not going to have much me time until, maybe the end of the day. But at the end of the day, the last thing I'm thinking about doing is picking up a book or doing anything for me except just turning off my brain and going to sleep, so I got energy to do it again tomorrow. So it came up like, all right, how on earth are you guys waking up earlier? Because that's what we feel works best, right? It is no matter how you cut it, you have your most energy after a night's sleep. Mm-hmm. So we kind of shared our routine as to how we set up the evening so that we've got that time in the morning, and by waking up, we get that extra time, not just to get our me time and work out, but we also are spending time together, right? You may not think, working out together is like quality time, but it really kind of is. We're both going through like a painful thing together. We're both growing together. We're both, active and having that extra blood to the brain, that extra oxygen in the brain, and like it puts us in a great state as a team before we go out and conquer the day.
I don't know if it's the same for you, but I can say it's very fair to say for me that I push myself harder more when you're in there than when
it's
you're not.
Built-in accountability.
It's like he's gonna work hard in there too, and I can see that, and it's like if I can see he's having. There's a lot of times where Brandon like can be tired, or he's like wanting to slow down, especially on like a leg day, and I'll be like, "What do you mean you're not going? You can't do these squats because like my legs are stronger and his arms are stronger." I'm not saying your legs are stronger. My legs are stronger than yours, but I have thick legs, so I can squat, like the best of them. So when we do like leg days and stuff, it's funny because he'll just be like, "Oh my God, it's hurting so bad," and I'll be like, "Come on, babe." So like we could push each other. But when we started doing this, it was not something, and I'm going to be completely honest here, like no sugarcoating at all. Getting up at 4 a.m. sucks at first. Like there's nothing enjoyable about the thought, which is the same for most people. And I think that's why they have that reaction of you do what? It's not fun to get up at 4 a.m. Like,
until you're up.
Work for a few days. But that's what I was trying to that's what I was telling our friends the other day when they were saying like, I don't know how you do it. And I said, you just do it. You just do it. Like you make the commitment that you're going to do it. And then for a few days, it sucks because you're used to going to bed at 10. There's no, I'm going to start going to bed earlier so I can wake up earlier. It doesn't usually work that way. You have to trick your body into it because your mind's so powerful. You can easily just tell yourself like, oh, I'll get up. It's okay for me to stay up till 10, 11 like I normally do. I'll get up at 4, but you probably won't. or you may for the first day or two and be like, yeah, see, I can do it. And then your body just like is exhausted and can't keep up. And then you pass out and you go past your alarm.
So instead, you wake up early for the first few days.
And, you gotta, like,
and then you're
yourself.
tired. Then you're tired and you can't help but fall asleep early. And then
it's like one of these.
And then once you're going to bed early, you're waking up early a lot easier.
Right. And after a few days of that like painful transition, it starts to feel really good. Like it's like I can definitely say that the first few days of me and like even like over the holidays and the Christmas break and stuff, like we fell out of it a little bit and I had my wisdom teeth out. And then when it's getting back into it and feeling alive again for just like getting up early after a few days and getting so much more accomplished. Like the first couple of days of me getting up early are basically, I'm just basically a useless blob trying to wake up that early. And it's like, I know I could be doing 1,003 things, but I'm just going to lay here and that's okay. Like don't beat yourself up over it. After 2 or 3 days of that, like the waking up part is actually a lot faster and you don't crave like you need to lay there for an hour to wake yourself up. And so like the first couple of days was really just me like laying there and like checking Facebook or whatever until like I had to get out of bed and put on my gym clothes and get in the gym. And then
here's what helps. I bring her coffee in bed because once the alarm's up, I'm like, all right, I'm up. What can I get done before we get in the gym at 4:30?
Are you giving yourself words of affirmation instead of letting me give you a shout out?
No. So then, I'll bring her coffee, and she hates when her coffee gets cold. So if I bring her coffee and she's still kind of waking up, it doesn't take very long before she's up because she wants to drink her coffee before it gets cold, and then she's got to get out of bed to heat it up, and then
which right now
the ball's rolling.
40 and 50 degrees in Florida. It's cold right now. It's winter. So I don't want to get out of bed. It's cold.
And if you don't have a gym, so we have a gym at home, obviously, which you could argue that makes it easier. But the best, Sam just posted this picture of me that had me super jealous. But some of the best results I've ever gotten from consistent working out is not some magic routine. It's been doing the Beachbody programs right in our living room. So you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to get a gym membership. Like, you guys can just get up and jump around your living room or jump around the spare room or whatever and get that workout in, or the garage.
There were years that we did not have a home gym and couldn't like really afford the luxury of going to a gym, right? We couldn't afford it.
Once the kids got here, we have to get
before the kids. Before the kids, we were broke. So it was like, and we lived together for an eon, and our money's been combined since like 2 years of us dating. So the thought of like us spending like $200 on like a gym membership, they didn't have $10 Planet Fitness and stuff back then on monthly memberships. It was like $100, $100 a person.
I don't know.
But anyway, we couldn't afford it, quite frankly. We had to get creative and figure out other ways to stay in shape. So, but Beachbody On Demand is only like $40 a month or something.
No. It's $10 a month.
What? No,
yes.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Stop. I think it's 40.
It's 10.
Okay, Beachbody On Demand, I guess, is only $10 to $40 a month. And look it up. If it's 10, like that's like a no-brainer. That's why I'm saying that. You can get the calendars for these things. I know this is a little off topic, but you can get the calendars for any of those Beachbody programs and like what workout you're supposed to be doing right online. You don't need to purchase the programs. They have that information available all online if you just Google it. So you can get the whole workout that you need to do and plaster it up there.
It's less than $10 a month.
Oh my gosh. If you sign up for a 6-month plan, it's $59.
It's $10
They'll
a month.
give you 2 weeks trial for free. And if you sign up for a 12-month plan, it's only $99. And we're not Beachbody coaches or anything. So like we gain nothing from telling you this right now except your happiness when you're working out. So, like even when we first had the kids, the babies used to wake us up. Like Max used to get up at like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning or whatever. We would get up, make sure the kids had some food, get our workout in our living room, which was like super small at the time. So we had 2 little areas where like Brandon would work out in one section and I would work in the other. and then we would grab the babies and put them in the double stroller and just go for a run around the neighborhood. That was like the best shape I've ever been in. I need sidewalks again, so I don't like running on the treadmill. But anyway, that's a little off topic. So we just get so much done in the morning, like.
How much stronger
Oh my
are
gosh,
you?
I just love getting
How
up in the
much more
morning.
energy do you have? How much more is your cup full for the day? It's overflowing when you start your day early, when you start it right, and you're, making your body good. Now we start the day, kids are off, the kids are in school a little earlier, and then we're just that much more like sharp and on and full of energy for the whole family. So,
and even this week.
So it's not just like, oh, you get that extra, half hour together. That's good, that's quality, but you're actually making each other better for the quality of the rest of your day to be better.
Even this like last couple of weeks, the kids have been like super tired for some reason. I think they're kind of transitioning out of their naps, which is like so sad. It makes me want to cry. But they want to sleep a little bit more in the morning. They're really not getting up to like 7. Well, we can drop them off in morning care at 7 if we really wanted to. But even like these last couple of weeks, we've just been like, whatever. Like they can go into school at 8:30. It's not a big deal. It's when their school starts. And they're getting up. They're in a routine too. They don't just have like free, like, oh my gosh, it's really important. This is like a huge tip. Whatever type of routine you're setting for yourself, you got to set a similar routine for your kids. I don't know if you ever notice, and it's the same in your households, but when we don't put some kind of routine on our children, they're freaking terrors. So like, there is like and I can tell on the days that Brandon gets like a little lax, he's like, oh yeah, I have all this work to do. Sure, you can watch something in the playroom, or yeah, you can grab your iPad. I'm like, why did you do that? Like, it's literally like a hell morning for us.
The screens are the devil.
Oh my gosh, they're the
worst. That's
so
why.
Like, I've set a rule a long time ago. It's a very strict rule in my house. We do not use the iPad. We do not watch TV until you're done getting ready for school. And so
it's a reward, not a pacifier.
Right. And so there's this incentive for them to want to get up and spend the morning with me, which I enjoy. They get up, if they come in the room and they're like, and they're like whining, I'll be like, whoa, let's like rewind and start over. Or I'll just sit there and go, good morning, until they say it back. I think I did that this morning with Max because he was whiny. Good morning, Mr. Whiny. And he's, no whiny. Well, you sure sound like it. Let's start over, and just like recorrect the day right from there. But like we get up, we have breakfast, we get dressed, we brush our teeth. They're all ready for school. They're just ready. And then at that point, they're excited and they're like, do we still have time before we have to go to school? So like this week, it's like, well, I could rush you out the door and get you to school and have a little bit more time to myself. But they feel like they need that time and that bond, and they like a little bit of time together. It's like almost like how we like our date days. Like they like their little date time. Like that's their best energy in the day too. And when Peyton and Max can kind of give that to each other, like in the morning, it's nicer than trying to make them do it at the end of the day to entertain themselves for a little while. So it's kind of cool to see them interact in the morning too. But and a lot of the times, this was a great example this morning. They were like so wanting to go watch something. Well, I'm very strict also about what they can do if they get screen time in the morning. So like this morning I was like, sure, you're all ready. You can go turn on the TV in the playroom. PBS only. They tried like 5 times to negotiate some other show or whatever.
Netflix or YouTube.
They don't want like YouTube, regular YouTube. They just want to watch Peppa Pig on YouTube because I think it's a Nickelodeon show. We don't have Nickelodeon. But, and I just kept saying, are you grateful that you get PBS, or do you not want to watch TV? So, like, it's really, it's very cut and dry in our house. You get this option or this option, and I know you don't want this one, so be very grateful and take this one.
Yep.
So they went away. We actually got a little coffee time together, which was amazing. And they did put PBS on, but since they don't really want to sit and watch, like, Daniel Tiger or whatever, they ended up just playing together, like, amazing children, and it's just, like, it turned into a very blissful, amazing morning. So that routine, I know it was a long rant, but that routine is important for both.
So let's break down the routine,
both parents and the children,
and then we can wrap this up.
Okay.
But I feel like our friends kind of wanted the play-by-play of how our routine looks and some of the little shortcuts and tips that we put in place.
Okay.
So why don't we start with ending the day?
Oh,
Picking up the kids from school. So right, how good tomorrow is going to be is going to depend on how much prep you do today. So we're big on preparing. So when we pick the kids up from school, we got a little bit of time, and then
let me do this on the best week scenario, because on busy weeks where we have to leave them in aftercare and stuff, the nighttime routine is a little bit more hectic because our time is condensed. But on our normal, like the way I like to do it, I pick them up from school, which is like 2:30, and I have it all afternoon with the kids.
Oh, they nap.
Sometimes they nap,
right.
Maybe only for like an hour. Like they're really transitioning out of naps. But I like picking them up earlier because it gives them some time to play while they still have a little bit of energy left. I also have time to prepare dinner before it gets too late.
Which is also the same time to prepare our lunch for the next day.
Yeah, yes, because when I cook at home, I'll cook a little bit extra, at least at a minimum, so Brandon has leftovers and he can take those into lunch with him, which I know he enjoys. And like this week is a great example. He hasn't had that at all this week. We have left the kids in. Well, it's only Wednesday, but we left the kids were off of school on Monday and they were in after school yesterday. So I haven't cooked this week. I should cook tonight. I'm going to cook tonight, actually. That sounds like a great idea. Because I'm like selling myself on how
regardless
much I love
of the
this
day,
routine.
by about 4 or 5 o'clock, they're taking a bath, which is different because usually it'd be like bath right before bed.
Yeah.
But
we've reversed it and
right.
we do baths before dinner.
Yep.
Brandon comes home from the office. They're already cleaned, bathed, in their pajamas. We sit down and have dinner.
Why is that important? Because usually we would save those things to closer to bedtime, and then it was more of a fight. Like,
well, they felt like they still had another like hour to hang out with us afterwards.
Right, and they didn't. It was like,
it's bedtime.
Yeah, bath, pajamas, get in bed, and now it's you're all ready for bed before we've eaten dinner, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
afterwards, they have so much cuddle time. Sometimes they even have iPad time, depending on how quick we get through everything.
So by about 6 o'clock, we're eating dinner.
Yep. As
Baths
a family,
are done.
We always sit down as a family. That's super important. We talk about our day. Brandon always ties in. He's really good about tying in. What was something that worked today? Let's talk about something that went really well at school today.
And what's something that you failed at? I learned that from a mastermind a few years ago. Like, it's important that the kids
admit
know
something that they didn't do right.
Well, because you learn from your failures. So I don't always want it to be.
But it's like heartbreaking when Max does it because he'll be like, "Well, I was a little bad.
Yeah.
Somebody did
I wasn't listening or something. Yeah.
And I pushed my friend down, and it's like he gets like so sad when he has to admit that he did something wrong. We'll be like, well, what did you do that was really good though? Or but then you told me that you went and said you were sorry, and like I just want to like cuddle him. But what I learned with Peyton, observing this whole scenario, Peyton's 5. She's almost 5.5 now, and she's like still one of the smartest little girls I've ever met in my life. So the other night we're sitting down for dinner, and Brandon had maybe like a longer day or whatever. Maybe he's more tired. He did not have the opportunity to start this. Peyton said, "So, Daddy, what went well for you today? How was your day today?" And I was just like, oh, that's my amazing little child. So like these routinely things, like they really stick with them, and we're creating these really good habits for our children before they're even like old enough to even realize they can do these things on their own. So that's cool. So we eat dinner, we get done with dinner.
About 6:30.
Depending on how crazy it is, like I'll either set the kids up with a show for a minute, or they want to go play, so they'll go play, and I'll help Brandon. Some nights we just don't get that bath in before dinner, so Brandon will clean up the dishes and put away lunch and everything for tomorrow, while I rush to give the kids a quick bath, so we're not spending all night doing it.
But either way, they are done, ready, and we get
we're like sitting
cuddle
down
time.
By I don't know. So let's say 7. That's a safe time. 7 is we're always sitting down by 7. Sometimes earlier.
For cuddles?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say 6:30, 7. On a good day, 6:30. On a late day, 7. And they pretty much have like 15 to 30 minutes of watching
It's
the
not
kids'
that
baking
short.
show.
It's like, we'll watch like a half hour, 45 minutes minimum. We'll watch a show. Like
Something like the kids' baking championship,
or America's Got Talent.
America's Funniest Home
Oh,
Videos.
the AFV. They love the AFV.
Something that's positive, that's kid appropriate, and not too entertaining that they like want to watch like a movie, right? And then we're up past
it's something that
bedtime.
we can like all in a way enjoy. Like I don't want to sit down and watch Daniel Tiger with them at 7, but I'm okay with sitting down and watching America's Got Talent. Like, that's cool. It's a cool show. So we'll sit down and do stuff like that. And then they go to bed on time. And it's nice because Brandon and I don't feel like we are completely exhausted. And
yeah, we've still got 2 to 3 hours together now before we're asleep.
We do? Well,
it's 7.
If they're in bed by 7:30, 8 o'clock, yeah, we have a couple hours together.
So the other things that we do to prepare for the next day is we put the kids' lunches out on the island, get their snacks and all that stuff laid out and ready. Obviously, anything that's refrigerated just sits in the refrigerator. And so in the morning, packing their lunches, again, doesn't seem like much, but if it saves you 10 minutes in the morning, that's, you stack up those things and you wind up getting, off track in the morning. So have their lunches out. We have their clothes already picked out and laid out on the counter. So even if we're not getting them dressed, it's like once you finish your breakfast, your clothes are right there. Get dressed.
And we've also trained them on the days that we don't have their clothes out. We've trained them to go get clothes themselves. Even Max, he's just turned 4, and he'll go get his clothes on his own. Yep. It's a little bit of a fight with him because he wants everybody to do everything for him, but he will go do it. He's like capable of doing it. And
then we moved our phones. So then I get my little shake prepped for after workout. Again, doesn't sound like a lot, but once we finish the workout, there's a very small window to get showered and dressed before the kids wake up. And I don't want to be making my shake while the kids are sleeping and wake them up a little too early. Mm-hmm. So I've got it all prepped so it's not making noise in the kitchen in the morning. And then we moved our chargers to the dresser, not by our bed. So I set the alarm for the morning for mine's at 4:05. Hers is at 4.
Mine's at 4 because the phone is next to the bed and his goes off and can wake the dead. So I asked him to kindly set his 5 minutes later, just in case we have a tired morning and I just shut mine off. His is like the backup alarm, which is another great thing, just to have one on and one on backup. I love that you put your phone across the room. I still know you have your watch on, but you set it to do not disturb. So there's no text messages at 10 o'clock at night from anybody coming into his phone. And he does get text messages even from his buddies, but how annoying, sitting in bed. Some nights we just feel like being on our phones, we will, and then we'll be like, we done? Okay, we'll put them away. But for the most part, we're not on our phones in bed. That's
right.
I mean, how do you get things sexy and turned on in the bedroom if you're talking to your boy about, whatever?
That's right. And then I also
not a turn on to me anyway.
I either lay out my workout clothes right next to the bed, or it's colder, so this time of year I'm just wearing my gym shorts and my gym shirt in bed. So I literally, the alarm goes off and I just throw my legs out and I'm already ready to get in the gym, because if it's that one little thing and that one little thing and that one little thing that you got to do in the morning, it's all these little potential excuses to run late. Oh, now that it's late, I guess we don't have time for a workout. And that's how it can start. So set yourself up to succeed and to be on time.
And then we kind of have our own little nightly routine too. We live in Florida, so it is kind of nice to get fresh at night. And I like to get fresh and get so we'll I don't need to take a full-blown shower, but I'll at least get off, rinse off with soap or whatever. I just want to feel the funk of the day. I don't know. And we're not nasty people, but it just still feels nice to get in bed and clean, and then I'm more apt to want to cuddle or whatever, you know what I mean? And and then we'll just chill for a little while. I think right now we're kind of in let's just get ready for bed because we know we're getting up early, TV kind of routine. Sometimes we go through routines where we don't want the TV on. We'll listen to like a book or something, but then it just knocks us right out. So we're enjoying the little bit of time we have together. Since we're getting into bed so much earlier and not sitting in the living room or not talking in the living room, like that's kind of our opportunity to do it right now. So
between 8 and 9,
yep,
we're in bed.
Yep.
All right, now we're all set up for the next day. Alarm goes off at 4 o'clock. Get up. Coffee's already on the timer, prepped. I have a little.
It's more like turn the thing off.
I prep my little pre-workout drink. I have that, which is a ton of caffeine.
Right over that.
And we get in the gym by 4:30. Do our workout. Our workout's usually 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, it depends. If we do your what's the one you
Body
like?
Beast.
If we do Body Beast, it's like an hour. If we do one of mine, they're like a half.
So what is that? 5:30. Call it 6 o'clock. We're in the shower. Getting right, and the kids are slowly starting to wake up between
5:50 and 7, somewhere in that window. It depends on how tired they are. If Max isn't tired, he'll get up at 5:50. So 6 o'clock, I come out, I start doing like all that rest of that snack stuff and making like the noise with their water bottles and stuff, and he'll wake up on his own, and then we start the day.
So
the breakfast and the dress, we already talked about it.
Right. So by 7 a.m. we're pretty much. They're fed, they've had their time, they're dressed, teeth brushed. By 7 a.m., we're walking out the door and taking them to aftercare. 7:30 at the latest. Morning care. Right?
Feels like
so now the
kids'
day is starting earlier, but that means we're also taking them out of school earlier. They're not, I like the option of aftercare, but I don't like stretching the kids to stay that late. So a couple months ago, we decided I'd rather them be in school a little bit earlier, so we have that time instead of having them stay later, and it's worked out amazing.
Oh, well, the other bonus is like on the days that we drop them off in morning care at 7, Brandon can be at the office by like 7:15, 7:30. It's crazy. So he gets an incredible amount of stuff done, like before anybody else, before the team even comes into the office. He's probably got a good hour and a half of stuff done, of just focused time by himself. And then like he gets so much more done over the course of the day that, he comes home not feeling like he needs to go catch up on stuff. Like there were definitely seasons even just like a year ago where like you would feel like no matter.
I had to go put another 2 hours in after.
From like 8 to 10. It was like a season where he was working at night. And I'd be like, that's fine. I'll just like watch The Bachelor or something. But, because I'm not productive at night. Like I'm not like, okay, I'll.
Well, neither am I. It takes me 2 hours to get like a half-hour task done. That's why I don't do that anymore. I don't like working.
So he's like just
evenings.
On fire in the morning. He just gets all this stuff done, and then he comes home feeling good, and he's like ready to hang out with the family at night, which is such a good feeling.
And here's a fact: if you studied all the top CEOs, and you track every minute of their day, a CEO of multi-million-dollar company is really only spending about 4 hours of productive time. If you add it up, like the things that move the needle, that grow the business, that grow the team, that make stuff happen, is about 4 hours of their day. The rest of the time is like, email or, getting pulled into a meeting, or a team member needs you for this or for that. So if I'm getting 2 hours of uninterrupted, high energy, focused time before everybody else has even shown up for work, I mean, I'm way ahead of the game, because there's no question that was 2 hours of that 4 hour time. And then I've got basically, as long as I can get, one or two big things done before lunch, or one or two big things done after lunch before the end of the day, like it's easy. Basically half of my day is done before 9 a.m.
Let's do this on the flip side, and then we'll wrap up. So the flip side is the stay-at-home mom, also entrepreneur, so Brandon will take the kids to school because he's going to just head right to the office afterwards, which is awesome, because I don't have to necessarily rush to get ready at that moment in time. So I like to just immediately, I'll shower, but I don't like care what I look like because I'm home. So I can
Yoga pants.
I can immediately get into what I need to do that's productive priority stuff that needs to get done earlier. And by the time I'm done eating lunch, which is really when I don't feel like working anymore, which sounds very bougie, but it's true. Like
Bougie.
I don't feel like working. And it's a great time for me to transition and just like I need that little bit of variety or I get bored. So like it's like great because then I'm like, cool. I got an hour before I have to pick up the kids. I'm going to take me time for a minute because the rest of the day is going to be devoted to the children. And so I literally like I'll eat lunch and then I'll just, you know, maybe catch up on social media or I'll just do something for myself for an hour. Sometimes I read a book. Like, can you believe it? I'm picking up books now. Like, my friend sent me a book. I couldn't put it down. Now I need to find another book like that. And, you know, I'll just kind of like invest in myself or just do nothing for myself for an hour and just take that time. I'll pick up the kids. I'll bring them home. And because I can't do anything really productive with the kids home in the business, it's very hard to concentrate with the kids like, mommy. But I could easily put away laundry, prepare dinner, do all those other things that like I really shouldn't be spending my morning doing. And so I feel super accomplished because if I can move the needle on one thing in the morning, that will make Brandon excited and happy that I'm at least doing something over here that's productive. And then I can get the kids and come home and then he comes home to like a tidy house and, you know, he'll notice like on days that it looked like the playroom exploded one day, he comes home and it's clean and he's like, oh, hey, the house looks great. Thanks. You know, I didn't even have to take that much time to do it, but I also got all these other things done as well. So it's like super rewarding as a woman. If you're wondering how you juggle as a stay-at-home mom and an entrepreneur, how to do these things, like I didn't even think about this the other night when we were at dinner, but just that shift for me has been incredible. You know, if it wasn't working for me, I would not be doing it. Brandon can attest that I would not be doing this still if it wasn't working, but getting a workout in feels great. The scale moving definitely feels good. Eating healthier is all right too, you know, but then at the end of the day, when I'm also getting stuff done in my business, I'm also getting some stuff done errand-wise. I don't feel like I'm falling behind there. Then I get the kids and I can do stuff in the home. Like, that's cool. I feel very accomplished.
What's the energy kind of felt like since making this transition and as it pertains to us and the kids? I've noticed the shift in...
Well, you and
I know that
get a little bit of time in the morning, so that's always nice for us. Like, I'm not like, oh, you gotta come home late today. Like, I don't have that feeling inside of me of like that. Like, sometimes I just get like angry if you're just like, need an extra hour, but I didn't see you for, like, I feel like I didn't see you for a week. Like, it can make me mad because I feel like I'm getting neglected, even though that's not your intention. Mm-hmm. But when we have all this time, like, that stuff, like, accumulates. It adds up. Like, I don't feel like I'm not getting time. I feel like I've gotten this time with you in the morning, which is nice. Even before the kids are awake, which I feel like is so hard to get. That's so hard to get time away from the kids as a parent of two kids, of kids that love their parents and parents that love their kids. So it's like, wow, we got a little bit of time. He likes the me time by himself, and then we come in and we work out together, and then we have time with the children, and the children are happy, and we're happy because we're already awake. Like, there's a difference between the kids waking us up. Like, a weekend is a good example where, like, we don't get up to work out. So the kids wake us up, and, like, they need to come in with a good attitude. That's how I want to start my day, right? That's why I'll be like, good morning, good morning, good morning, until they're nice if they're funky. But usually most days they come in sweet. But there's a different energy in the house when they wake us up because they've woken up compared to when we've been up. We're already awake. So, like, they come out the door and we're like, hey, what's going on? And we're, like, really excited to see them and come here. And we want to give them big hugs. When they wake us up, we're like, Mm-hmm. Okay, go pee-pee. I'm coming. Good morning. Okay, we're getting up. I know you don't want to lay in bed. I know. So let's go get some breakfast and just give me 1 second. I just need to wake up. I'm here, but I just need to wake up. You know, it's a little bit of that versus like when I'm already up, like they come out the door, like Peyton comes out with this look on her face, right? It's like this little like smirk thing that she does. And it's like, she's like, I'm coming to give him love, you know, and she comes out and just gets her like little snuggles or whatever. And Max's attitude, he's more productive. which is a big change for, the little boy that could like zone out to TV if we would just let him. Like, he is more productive and he does like the routine when he's in it. So it's just like me having to get into it. Like, it's hard the first few days with the kids to have them go through the motions of, no, we're not doing anything until you do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, and I know it may seem like maybe it could seem like regimented and like this comment I'm about to make. It may seem like we're just stacking stuff back to back to back to back, and it's like go, go, go. But the truth is, it's the complete opposite, because when you do have the clothes laid out and the lunch is already prepped and you're playing more offense, right? You're setting yourself up to make sure that you don't fail and you don't get 5 minutes behind and then 10 minutes behind and so on. It actually makes the mornings, instead of the mornings feeling like, oh, grab this, hurry up, go that, go, like rush, 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 like we don't want to be late to school, or bedtime feeling like, hurry up, get dressed, get your pajamas on and get right to bed.
For the kids.
No, it's a totally different pace, as opposed to we're already setting it up and we kind of know what needs to happen, and it's easy. There's no excuse like, oh, I don't have pants.
I feel like they actually
I don't have my
quicker.
socks.
They move quicker.
Well, they move quicker because we set them up to succeed, right? Yeah. It's not like, oh, I don't have my pants. They're not in my drawer. It's still in the laundry room.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, I'm still trying to finish my shower or get ready, and you need laundry, and it's not setting you up to succeed.
It almost becomes a big fight for selfishness in the house when...
Wait, don't you? I got to do this and you got to do that. Instead of like, hey, I've made everything really easy for you to get ready and be ready on time. So everyone, like I said, it's not... All around. Yeah, it's not like the days where it just felt like wake up and rush. And then it's hurry up and finish your dinner, rush to bed. Mm-hmm. It's the complete opposite, and that has stacked up to where I think a lot of the shift in like Max's attitude especially has been because he doesn't have that extra like go, go, go. It's more he's at
well, we're able to be at our best,
a lower pace,
so he's able to be
exactly.
At his.
We don't give him opportunities to complain about his pants or complain about
Gosh, Max and his damn pants.
Yeah.
It's too tight. He's still.
So anyway, I hope that little bit of a day in the life of routine is helpful for you. Again, like we always say, you take what you want, what you don't want, don't take. If you don't have the kids,
I challenge you guys to try this. It's amazing. It's so good. And if you guys are already on some kind of earlier morning routine or have morning routine stuff that works, like totally drop it in the comments. Let us know what you're doing that's working in your house in the mornings.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We'd appreciate it.
All right, guys, have a great week. We will see you again next week.
Later.
Bye.